Hello, Leo, and welcome to March. This is a reading for Leo sun and rising signs. Leo, today I'm going to cover 7 different transits that you're going to want to pay attention to, and they all stack onto each other. So I'm going to give you a bit of a timeline and let you know each of the different elements and then how they all come together at the end. So first of all, I want to start with the full moon that we just had in Virgo. I know that was in February, but I feel that moon was actually important for the rest of the month. That full moon was in Virgo. And for you, that full moon showed up in your second house. So, what I have noticed about this full moon is that it was revealing to us our pearl of great price. And what that means is there's something in all of our lives that we value so much that we're willing to be squeezed. We're willing to bust through obstacles. We're willing to do the hard work to get that juice. It's that valuable to us. The juice is that valuable. And so there was something last weekend that you got to experience that brought to the surface what your pearl is. What's the juice that's so much worth the squeeze? And it's important for you to know that and to really, really investigate that within yourself, because we're going to be taking that pearl and we're going to be bringing it into a new cycle starting this week, actually. In fact, this week, Mars is moving from Taurus energy to Gemini energy. Essentially, that means that it's moving from your 10th house to your 11th house. So let me explain what that means. Basically, while Mars is moving through Taurus, you were breaking up all of the soil around what you used to think was the legacy that you were leaving for the world just by existing. And so you may have had some experiences in the last couple of months that ripped out old weeds from your ideas. Maybe you used to think your legacy was, X, Y, and Z, and now you're understanding that your legacy is so much more, and it's so much more effortless. Like, it's not linked to any kind of title. It's not linked to any kind of like job or role that you play on the planet. In fact, you may have found that you're being your legacy just by engaging in your life, just by being who you are. And now that Mars is moving into Gemini, it is moving into a place where, okay, you're getting now you know more about what your legacy is. It's time for you to take action in the hell yeses and hell nos of the people that you want to affect with your legacy. So you'll be experiencing opportunities to completely lean in to supporting other people, to calling people in to help you out. You're going to since you understand more about how in fact you are impacting other people, you're going to actually make choices now on who you actually want to impact. So Gemini is definitely a sign that wants you to be congruent with your preferences. It wants you to know what you like and what you don't like. And it wants you to say hell yes or hell no. And every time you make a decision this month or during this time period regarding the people that you impact, it's going to feel visceral. You're going to feel it. Like, either this person that you're saying hell yes to, you are saying hell yes because, excuse me, you're saying hell yes because they feel good to you. You want to be working with them. You want to associate with them. Or you're saying no to them because you don't feel it. There's no passion there for you. You don't prefer to be in association with that person. And it's as simple as that. You believe in what is happening or you don't, and it's that simple. All of your yeses there. You could overcomplicate this thing by getting super mental, or you could just trust the feeling that you have in your gut between yes and no. There could be like certain layers of yes and certain layers of no. My advice to you is just to take inventory of the things that you've said yes to that felt like no's, and the things you said no to that you should have said yes to, and feel the difference between those two things, and let that be the magnet that helps you in your decision making from this point forward, actually. And know that every yes you make right now is a seed that you're planting, and every no that you make right now is a weed you're pulling out. So be very mindful of that, because Mars is really helping us to cultivate a garden that we'll be able to harvest for our lives. And knowing what your pearl of great price is going to amplify that sensation in your body as you're making these decisions. Now let's talk a little bit about Pisces season. Pisces for you actually shows up in your 8th house. And we're getting a new moon in Pisces on March 13th. And then Mercury will move into Pisces on the 15th. So what does Pisces in the 8th house mean for you? Essentially, this is so interesting. I'd love to hear from Leos, because essentially what that would mean is that the way that you're intimate, it feels like it's a huge universsul intimacy. Like, it almost feels like you have the capacity to be intimate with whomever you want to, and you don't necessarily have like strong the energy of Pisces is that everything's acceptable. Like, you'll understand that intimacy with your life, intimacy with other people, requires you to accept all of them. The ugly things, the sad things, the pretty things, the amazing things, the stinky things, the awesome things. There's something about a Pisces in the 8th house energy that is like, hey, this is what intimacy is about. It's not going to be all tied up in a pretty package. It includes the whole. And so during this Pisces season, I would suggest that you investigate the whole of you, bring all of the parts of you into an acceptable space, and then understand that that's going to impact the way that you're intimate with other people, that they are exactly acceptable exactly as they are, and that allows an intimacy on a level that is beyond like physical intimacy or emotional intimacy. It's like an intimacy with humanity that you're cultivating. And so it's quite evolved, and it's quite mature. So I just wanted to like say, wow, Leo rising or Leo suns, it's just pretty incredible that you probably have a lot of compassion for yourself and for the whole of humanity. And if you find any spaces where you still are cultivating that compassion, the seed that you'll plant on that new moon on the 13th could absolutely be about that, like cultivating even more compassion to have intimacy with life as you know it, life with intimacy with every piece of life. And then Mercury will come through there and just give you all of the feedback and inner discernment and epiphanies required for you to just really nourish that seed. Then as we step into around the 20th and 21st, Venus and the Sun are going to enter Aries. And as they do that, you're going to get an influx of energy in your 9th house. I would say that this 9th house energy for you is going to be an epiphany that comes from you recognizing what true intimacy is really about. All through this Pisces season, you're actually digging deeply into this concept of, what does it mean to be intimate with my waking life? What does it mean to accept all the things? And as you do that, the Sun and Venus will just step right into this truth house and just illuminate, like, this is the truth. This is the juice of humanity. This is the thing. And so Leos, you have an opportunity this month to really begin seeing a new paradigm for what is true around this existence, around life. And I'll tell you, it probably will be something new and different than what you thought of before. There'll be an extra layer that is available to you this year than you've ever had available to you before. or it'll be a really strong confirmation of something that you've been suspecting was true. Next, we have the full moon in Libra, and that's going to show up in your third house. For you, this is going to be a reflection of all of the epiphanies and work and observations you've had. It's going to be a reflection of how those have been affecting your relationships and your thoughts around relationship. You sometimes approach relationship from a very cerebral place, and whatever you think about relationship, it actually impacts the way your relationships go. And so I am very interested to hear how your relationships are impacted by this new truth that you revealed to yourself this month. It's going to be a very interesting month to check in on. And you can see how these sort of stack onto themselves, right? Like you, last weekend, there was something about the juice that was worth the squeeze. Then you started realizing that the people that you're associating with and the impact you're having on them is actually really, really important and valuable, and that you better, make sure you state your preferences clearly. Then as you're doing that, you begin to recognize that you have a whole new appreciation and acceptance for all of the aspects of humanity in your intimacy. And it reveals a brand new truth for you around what is even happening in this lifetime. And that affects the way that you view even the way you label personal relationship. So beautiful, beautiful energy. I'm looking forward to checking in with you. That's all I have for astrology, but I'm going to pull one archetype card to give you so that you kind of have this in your back pocket. Oops, they rolled way under the bed. I'm gonna pull those out, but I'm gonna pull a different one because obviously those two, this one. Oh, okay. The card that we got for you is the Mentor. All right, so let me just show you that card. This is the Mentor card. And I'm gonna read about the Mentor for you. It's number 6. The Mentor is like the Hierophant or the priest, the teacher, the sage, the guru. It is said that cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. The true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul. Ultimately, the mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of the consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. So, it sounds like you've got a very interesting guide with you on this journey, and I would love to hear your epiphanies and share some of your thoughts. Please leave a comment below, like, share, and subscribe to this station if this was useful for you, and please stay tuned for more videos like this. I'm looking forward to next time. Bye.